If you're watching this video on the day that I post it, that means that outside that window, it's in the mid-90s. It also means it's about 75% humidity out there, which also means that I'm not going out there. But that doesn't mean I'm not gonna get my steps in, so let me show you what I'm gonna do instead of going out there and sweating through another shirt. Welcome back to the GymCrafter YouTube channel, everybody. My name is Tim. I am the head gym nerd here at GymCrafter.com, and happy Friday, everybody. Yes, that's right. It means it's time for another Fast Friday video where I give you just a little nugget of home gym goodness to get you through the weekend. And today I've got something to share with you that is certainly going to get me through my weekend. I have found as I get older,
no time for you, old man,
that one of the most important things that I need to do on a daily basis to make sure that I feel good is to continually get my steps in every single day. 8,000 to 10,000 steps every day is where I found that it really shows a lot of benefit in my life and my sleep and my digestion and my joints. Lots of things get better when I hit that mark. However, those things really become less important when I have to go outside and do it, whether it's going to be a day like today when it's super hot and humid out, or whether that's a day in the wintertime when it's, you know, minus 10 below outside and I don't want to bundle up to go out there then either. So if you've been watching the channel, you know that I've been evaluating walking pads. And what walking pads are, is they're just kind of a scaled down treadmill. They're not for running, they're not for jogging. They're literally just for getting your steps in and staying active throughout the day. And I've grown to really like having one or two, or I think I've got 3 in the house right now. And if you've been watching the channel, you've seen some reviews already. I've got more coming out. And today what we're looking at is we were looking at the W50 by a company called Merach. Now you probably know of Merach from watching other YouTube channels. They do a lot of rowers and treadmills and things like that. I'm not a rower or a treadmill guy at this point, but when they called me up and offered to send me the walking pad for a review, I said yes because I just so happen to be looking for some. So thank you to Merach for sending that to me. This particular W50 runs just over $400, although it's on sale a lot. So definitely check out the link down below in the description. That will take you right to the current sale price. They've usually got it on sale for a good bit under $400, which for this is a really good value. A lot of the walking pads I've been looking at are in the $900 to $1,100 range, and there's a few features on this one that I think actually set it apart and above those other units. So let's dig into this one. First of all, it's relatively small. It's about 50 inches long by about 22 inches wide. So it doesn't take up a ton of room. As you can see, I've got it in the corner of my office here next to my desk. There's plenty of room for me to get here. Now, I don't know that I would want to jog on this, although I probably could, but as far as the length of the deck goes, there's plenty of room for me to walk. I've never felt cramped. I've never felt kind of squished in this. I've never felt like I'm going to fall off. One tip for you, if you are going to do a walking pad, these don't typically have rails or handles. So I like to put it next to a wall, next to a desk. I'll wheel this out under my desk. It does have wheels and a handle, so I can pick this up and move it around, which is nice. So I can wheel it different places. So if I'm editing, sometimes I'll put it under my desk and walk while I'm editing. I don't know that I would recommend putting any walking pad out where you don't have something to kind of hold on to. They're kind of made to go by other furniture. It has a 3.5 horsepower motor. I believe it goes up to 4 miles an hour, which is actually a good bit faster. So if you do like to walk briskly, or I like to walk with long strides, I can max this out, but it's a nice brisk walk, which is nice because some of the walking pads, they either go too slow, they top out at about 2.5 miles per hour, or some of them go even faster, but again, I'm not looking to jog, so that's really nice. Another nice thing about this is it is one continuous surface. Some of the ones I've been looking at, they fold up, which is a really cool feature, and if you don't have room for something like this, that's definitely an option you'll want to look at. However, those foldable ones, they have this seam in the middle that you can feel as you walk over it, and one of the things I love about using this one versus some of my folding ones is that the deck is very, very smooth, and also it's got a little bit of cushioning. It's not cushioned like a treadmill, but it is cushioned enough to be comfortable when you are walking on it. So I do like it for that. My favorite feature of this is that it inclines though. That's one thing that a lot of these walking pads don't do. It is a motorized incline, so I can take this remote and just raise it or lower it as I'm walking. And I gotta tell you, I love doing that. I love actually adding some incline to my walking. It burns a few more calories, so at times when I need to get rid of a little bit of this, which is right now, I'll actually walk on an incline. But I found too that that's a little bit easier on my joints. So adding just a touch of incline tends to be a little bit easier on my knees, a little bit easier on my ankles, and it allows me to get more steps in across the day. And I really like how well this is made. I honestly didn't expect for the price point for this to be built very well. When Merach reached out and they wanted to send it to me, and I looked at what it cost, and I looked at what the other ones I've been evaluating cost, I'm like, I don't know if this is going to be very well built, and I was pleasantly surprised at how well built this is. It's got a weight capacity that goes up to 400 pounds, so I've got a couple of clients that are on the heavier side. I can put them on this, no problem whatsoever. Some of the other walking pads that I have don't have near the weight capacity. I've used this for a couple of months consistently, so I can tell you that over those couple of months I've had no issues. I've had no issues with the incline motor raising and lowering, and I typically do that while I'm standing on it, so it's pretty robust that way. And I can tell you that it's lasted well so far. So in that case, if you're worried about construction quality or something at this price point, I don't know that I'd worry about that, but just to be open and transparent, I've only had it for a couple of months. I will probably use this for a little while longer, and if I keep it for a longer period than that and I have an issue, I'll come back and tell you guys. But for now, it's holding up really, really well. I think the quality level is really good. And a couple other things that I like about this is this remote. So a lot of the walking pads and a lot of the treadmills, gosh, a lot of everything requires you to download an app and create an account. And while Merach does have an app, you're not required to use it to use this. Like, I don't need somebody to track my steps, right? I don't need a daily log of it. If you do, then it does have an app. So it does have that. It's a very basic app. It's not gonna knock your socks off, but it's gonna do some basic functions. It's gonna track how long you've walked. It's gonna track your progress over time. It's also going to tell you how long you walked, what your incline is, what your pace is. Right on the unit itself, it's got a display right on the top. And I like the fact that I can just pick it up and I can use it with this remote without having to worry about opening up an app and creating another account and things like that. So I know that's something that I genuinely like about it. I also like that it's more, so you've got your speed increase and decrease, your incline increase and decrease, but there's also some program modes in here. So if you want to get a little fancier and not just walk, I typically just turn it on and walk at a fixed speed and then turn it up and down as I need to. But if you would like to do fitness programs where it raises and lowers on its own, speeds up and slows down on its own, and there's different programs built in that you can do that achieve different goals, it does have that function as well. The other thing that I really like is I'm going to turn it on while I'm recording this video, and what you're going to hear is that it's actually relatively quiet. So that's one thing that not all of them do, but it's going to start, and you might be able to hear my air conditioner outside, but you can't hear this. I'm going to turn it up faster. So that's 3 miles an hour. So you can hear that then, but this is pretty quiet. If I want to get on, there's some nice side rails here for me to get on. Like I said, I like having something to hold on to here. But generally, if you're doing this in the house with your family and you've got other people in the house, this isn't going to wake up the whole house. It's going to be nice and quiet, and it's going to be something that you can use with, like I said, without shaking down the whole house, which some of them aren't that way. So that is a rundown of the Merach W50 for your Fast Friday. Hopefully you got something out of that. If you're looking for a way to avoid the weather outside and get your steps in inside, this is definitely one that I recommend. Like I said, I'll put a link down below for you to check it out if you decide to get one. It's not super expensive. And yeah, so overall, really like it. If you got any questions, pop those down in the comment below. Otherwise, get back to your Friday and have an awesome weekend, and I will see you next week. I'm Tim from GymCrafter.
Pow.